We have 4 months left to the rest of the year.
4 months.
4 months. And so I thought that we can use this opportunity to speak to Ahmed, a high dimensional being that Marcus Bird channels, to ask what's in store for the next 4 months of 2023.
We could be of the telling you that there is much shifts and changes that are appearing. There is much of the diversions that are appearing. There is much of the trying to be of the...
Welcome to Galactic Guidance, the show that channels the wisdom of beings from higher realms. Join us as we tap into the cosmic consciousness and receive messages of clear guidance to help us navigate our spiritual evolution on planet Earth. So sit back, relax, and let's connect into the higher frequency. Hello, everybody. We have 4 months left to the rest of the year.
4 months.
4 months. And so I thought that we can use this opportunity to speak to Ahmed, a high dimensional being that Marcus Bird channels, to ask what's in store for the next 4 months of 2023.
Wow.
So, Marcus,
That's
whenever
a big
you're ready
question.
to, yeah.
All right,
Ready
let's
to.
see what's happening. Let's see what's going on.
Happening.
Yeah. So let's just drop in and...
So for those of you who may just be dropping into this episode, I would invite you to go back to episode 1 to learn how Marcus actually channels this high dimensional being, how this all came about around 30 years ago. And he puts himself into this state where he connects into the energies of a high dimensional being called Ahmed from another star system, which is a Lyra star system. And whenever Ahmed comes through, she's a female energy, we'll talk to her.
It is with much of the joyness that we are being in the presence here with you, in this of the momentness, and this of the sacred internal moment. And this is one of the aspects we wish it to be, of the understandingness that each of the moments are much of the sacredness. This is one aspect that you have been of the missingness, the sacred aspect of our connections and our communications, and the time that we are being of the spending in this moment.
So good to speak to you, Ahmed. I get excited every single week when it's an opportunity to speak to you and to hear your guidance and your wisdom. And I was just thinking today that this year, as soon as it hits August, in my mind, it's like the year's over. And so we've only got 4 months left of this year as we start September. And I was wondering if you could tell us what is in store for the planet for the next 4 months.
This is much of the interesting questions that we are being often of the asking, is to be able to be in the sharing of what is in the, what you might be calling in the future aspect of your reality. We must be of the remembering that we do not be of the experiencing of the timescape like you are being of the experiencing of the timescape. Here in this dimension of reality, you're experiencing much of the past and the future, what you would be of considering the linear timescape. Within this aspect, you think that there is much of a future time space that is above the unfoldingness. This is not the reality that we are of the experiencing. We are much more of a circular timescape, much more of a dimensional timescape, where all aspects of the reality are on the ever of the unfoldingness. Therefore, we can be of the connecting into what you would be of the considering of the future. At this in this same of the aspect, we are very much of the carefulness not to be of the influencing of your future. So we would be of the asking the question, what would you wish for the next months to be of the experiencing? What are you of the choosing to be in the experiencingness of this moment? We could be of the telling you that there is much shifts and changes that are appearing. There is much of the diversions that are appearing. There's much of the trying to be of the withholding the energetic construct, the expansive nature of the universal construct. But this is not also of the truthness. But there are many of the energetics that are being of the trying to contain, to be of the controllingness of this timescape, this future reality. But much of the future reality is always at your of the disposalness, at your being of the desireness. What is it that you wish for it to be of the happening, Miss Eleni? What would you like to be of the unfolding? There is many opportunities in every moment of the every momentness that allows you to choose what you wish to be of the unfolding. There is an infinite potential of reality that is ever present in each of the moments that you step into from a linear of the timescape point of the view. There is an opportunity for you to step much more of the excitement, much more of the positive, what you would be considering of the positive, much more of the expansive nature of the reality of the human experience. But in the same moment, there is also the opposite that could be of the possibility. There is a reluctance to be stepping powerfully into this reality of expanded expression of your consciousness. This fear expression, this hesitation expression is wishing for you to be of the holding backness, to be of the controlling and of the containment of the energetics. But we wish for the invitation for you to step powerfully into the expanded nature of the truth of who you are. Therefore, much of the invitation is for you to be in the space of the higher consciousness reality, that you wish for the experience to be of the moving through, moving into the next expanded reality of who you are. This can be done as the individual, but also on a collective basis, that you are making the desired decision to be of the expanded nature of your reality. But there is much of the truth that in this moment there's many opportunities, many realities that could be of the playing out. We wish not to be of the influencing of these realities, but just be of the knowingness that you can be of the creating, that which you wish to be of the experiencing. What potentiality of the most likely decision that you will be of the making is to continue this much of the decelerated expansion into the fullness of who you are. This is a time to be of the collective nature, to assist everyone to be of the amplification, acceleration of the expansion of who you really are. Not of the withholding, but what you are seeing into, what you are connecting into, is the very much the restricted nature of the consciousness that is being of the existing in this moment. There are many of you that are not believing in the sacredness of this of the moment. There are many of you that are not believing into the reality of the infinite possibilities that could be here in the creation moment. Remembering that every of the moment is sacred. It is sacred because of our ability to be in the connection and in the communication sphere, but also because you're at a sacred moment of the choosing aspect. Every moment of the every moment you have the ability to be of the choosing a more expansive, more stable, more conscious experience, or of the choosing of the fear and of the hesitation and of the believing in other people's of the opinionness. You are playing much into the energetics of influence that is playing out in this moment. The consciousness of this influence is designed to assist you to more powerfully step into the more expansive nature of who you are. For many of you of the circumness, many of you are of the hesitation, the worriedness, the concernedness for what you have been of the telling is that you are not of this expanded nature. This is not of the truth. This is one thing that we keep on talking with you about, because we wish for you to experience the expanded nature of your reality. But you are being of the keeping of believing in what you have been of the told. You are keeping of believing that what was given to you many of the time ago is still in existence in this of the moment. But this is not of the truth. Everything that was in the yesterday, everything that was in the last of the moment is not what is in the this of the moment. You do not have to bring with you what you are of the experience in of a moment ago. You can be of the next experience. One of the aspects that we have talked to of the channel once in before was that the most important moment in your existence is not the past of the moment, not the now of the moment, but the next of the moment. There are three realities that play around and play out in your existence in any of the given moments. We are talking of the moment being of the space that is existing in this moment. Then it exists in this of the moment. Then it exists in this of the moment. What you have to understand that the important aspect of the moment is not of the pastness, not of the nowness, but of the nextness. What is the next experience you wish to be of the feeling, of the experiencing, and of the living? Making much of the conscious decision of what you wish to be of the experiencing in the next moment, which has now become this moment. And the next moment has now become of this moment. So as you are thinking about this, because your construct is very much on the linear time frame in this dimension of the reality, you are in the process of moving past this of the construct. But while you are still here in this construct, as you begin and continue your journey of the expansive dimension of reality, you must be considering the three aspects of the moment: the past of the moment, the now of the moment, but most of the importance is the next of the moment. What is it that you are being of the deciding? What are you being of the inspired? What are you being of the energetic quality that is drawing you into the creation of this, of the next, of the moment? Therefore, you're of the question, is what is happening in the next of the months before you are being at your, what you call your end of the year experience. And in this moment, there is much of the lowest of the consciousness, which therefore then of the leading to many of you being of the fellowship, not of the leadership. You are very much of the following, the energy that has been much in the past of the moment, not the energetics of the now moment or of the next moment. Therefore, you will begin of the continuing to experience the creation of the past of the moment. This is very much of the used by many of the few in your collective species experience that understand the sacredness of this experience and therefore can be much more of the controlling of the energetics. This of the controlling is just continuing to amplify the past of the moment. This is not amplifying of the next of the moment, not even of the amplification of the now of the moment. It is much of the importance to be in the distraction of the now moment and of the next moment. Very important to make sure that you are being kept in the past of the moment. But this is not your reality. This is much more of the smallness of the reality, to keep you being in the remembering of the past of the experiences. For in these past of the experiences, you are told that you are not who you are. You are told of the smallness of your experience. You are told of the badness of your experience. But this is not who you are. So what we wish to invite you in to assist in this process for the next of the months is to be of the focus of the next moment and the desire and the energetics of what you wish to be of the experiencing. The more that can be collectively on this process, the more you will move past the potentialities of the unfolding pastness re-existing itself, replaying itself outness, because this is what is the possibility in this moment. You wish for us to look at two aspects of the realities, when in truth there is an infinite possibility, there's an infinite reality. But in this moment, there is a much of the duality of the experience, where you will continue being of the playing out of the pastness, or you can start to step into the nextness and be a playing out of the nextness, that is, of the nextness desire. Always, you must be of the understanding that always the nextness desire is a more expanded version of who you are, a more conscious experience of this theme park. You cannot be being in the presence of the next this moment with consciousness that is of the smallness moment. You cannot take a past of the consciousness into the next of the consciousness. This is not of the possibility. This is one thing that you are miss of the understanding, and therefore you are continuing to be of the repeating of the pastest moment. You are much trying not to be of the pastest moment, and you are trying to be in the now moment to release of the pastest moment, but this is not what is going to be of the releasing. Only when you step into the nextest moment would you be of the freeing you of yourself of the pastest moment and the pastest experience. But you are much of like what you have of the mouseness running on the wheelness. When you are sitting in that pastest moment, you are continuing to run on the wheel and not getting off the wheel to run on the ground. When you are in the nextest moment, you move past this of the treadmill and you start to step more powerfully into the expansive nature of who you are.
Mm. I love this, and it's quite different to other spiritual teachers when they talk about the power of now and the presence of being in the now. What you're talking about is being in the next moment. So it's all about the intention. What is it that you want to create in the next moment? And so, thank you so much, Ahmed, for answering this question. And is there any final remarks that you would like to make?
You must of remembering that this now moment is also of the importance, but as you are in this now moment is connecting into the energetics of the much of the desire that then be in the creating of the next moment. These moments are very much connected together, and without of the consciousness, you would not see the separation of these moments. When you do of the seeing of this, then you can be of the commanding nature and be able to create in the infinite possibility of that which you wish to be of the experiencing, and not be of the repeatingness of these are past of the moment experiences. These are often much of the fearness, much of the hesitation, much of the worriness lives in this experience. We wish for you to journey through this and into the fullness of of who you are as the members of the cosmic, the universal of the family of light. Much of the joyness in this.
Mm. Very grateful, Ahmed. Thank you.
Much joy, much love, Miss Eleni, much of this. This is much of the excitement. And we are much pleased that we are here with you. We can much of feel into the energetics of your space in this moment, and this gives us of the much of the joyness. You are continuing to be of the expansive nature of the truth of who you are. This is much of the shining of the light on the planet. We are much of the joyness for your of the participation in this of the experience.
Thank you for those words. Beautiful.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Just ground myself back here.
Yeah. So, interesting. So I asked Amid, what is the energy for the next 4 months? And basically she said, well, what do you want it to be?
Mm,
It is whatever you want it to be. But the most
mm,
important thing about what you want it to be is to be in the is to be, she said, there's 3 points in time: the past, the present, and the next moment. So it's
mm,
about, and she's talked about this next moment before,
yeah.
where you step into the expansiveness of the next moment rather than sitting in the restrictiveness of the past moment.
Mm.
So, Marcus, in terms of a practical tip for people
Yeah.
listening out there, from
Yeah.
your perspective, how do we, because that's what it was all about, how do we step into the expansiveness of the
Mhm.
very next moment?
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. She's talked to me a lot about this and just trying to get my head around it because, I think, there's a lot of talk about the now moment, and I think we sort of understand the past moment because we tend to sort of live there. But this next moment's kind of an interesting one because it's not tomorrow, it's not in an hour's time, it's not even in a
No,
minute's time. It's like
it's like,
so much here and now, like it's just minute.
yeah.
And it's about, I think it's about almost like commanding the next moment. And I find there's two ways to do this. One is with a little saying I have, which is follow the energy.
Mm,
Because the energy, it's almost like you're moving ahead of yourself, as in your energy is leading you to wherever you need to be. So if you can sit there and follow the energy, which is, okay, where does the energy want me to be in the next moment? What's it calling me to be? And what the energy does is it calls you to be the biggest version of you. And so if you can be quiet enough, and this is why the now moment's important, because in the now moment, you listen to that energy, which is in the next moment, and you follow it into the next moment. And what I do is I'm following it. I then use my humanness to get inspired and excited and to amplify it, right?
mhm,
So I follow the energy, and as I'm feeling into the energy, I just try to amplify it with my imagination of, wow, it can be this and it can be that, because the imagination is going to go past the next moment into the future, right?
mhm,
Or it's going to try and pull you back into the past. So as I'm staying present, follow the energy, as I'm connecting into the energy, I amplify it with humanness and excitement and the potential future of what I'm, wanting it to be. But I think the first bit, because that can then drag you back out into the future and then you get lost again. So it's a real sort of balancing point. So the most important thing is to stop for a minute, be in the now, and then feel into the energy of the next moment and where is it asking you to go. And you can even ask the question, where do you want me to be next? Where am I? And that could just be as simple as, oh, I feel like getting up and going to the fridge, or I feel like going outside. Just it could be as simple as that. Once you connect to that, then you can start to amplify the next moment and go, oh, wow, this
mm,
energy is beautiful. It's drawing me. I want more of that energy. So let me just start to amplify that and imagine, wow, imagine if I did this all the time, and imagine what it would lead to. And then you can let your imagination build the future.
mm.
But circling
So,
back around. Yeah,
so
anyway.
Marcus, a question though,
Yeah.
and I love that saying that you have follow the energy, and it's something that I've adapted and adopted for my own life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
I'm hearing you say that so often. But what about for people listening who are like, well, the energy, if I follow the energy is anger, the energy is stress, the energy is
Yeah, yeah,
overwhelm.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. That
So
is
what do you
a
say to
energy,
that?
but it's not the energy, right? That's a past-based energy generally, right? Of
Yeah.
past perceived reality, where you've been told you're no good or horrible or mean or whatever the words were that you were gifted. This is why we have to step out of that, and why the now moment becomes important, because by stepping into the now moment, you sort of let all of that go. Then you can connect into the next moment of that energy, which is drawing you forward. And that energy is not a human energy type experience where it's anger or fear or joy or happiness or any of those things. It's a frequency or resonance that plays out on the planet and is playing out around you, and it's beyond emotions. It's beyond opinion or beliefs or fear, those human experiences. It's like beyond that. And so connecting into that is an experience in itself, right? Once you get connected in it, then you can follow that energy, because you can get a cleared delineation of that's human energy, which is anger and frustration, fear, joy, those things. And this is more my resonance, my true resonant frequency energy, which is connected intimately into the universe and connected intimately into the infinite potential. And it's drawing you into the infinite where anything's possible. So it's subtle. And the best way to do you do this when you connect with nature, for example. right? When you're just sitting watching a sunset or sunrise, or you're in the bush or something, and you just stop for a minute, sit on a rock by a river, and all of a sudden everything disappears and the energy just built, just like, yeah, just appears.
Mm.
And often from that place, inspiration appears, and oh wow, that's what I need to do, and oh yeah, that's my future, and oh, that's the path I should be following. Oh, that's my purpose, right? That's when those things appear, when you're in that space. That's and then you follow that. That's following the energy.
Mm. Mm.
So in any of those spaces, generally fear doesn't come up, anger doesn't come up. We feel at bliss.
Yeah, what I love what you just said is that like energies like anger or sadness or overwhelm or stress is an energy of the past. I think that's
Yeah,
a key point.
yeah,
And what we're saying is to the next moment, what is it that you want to create? And then
yeah.
once you feel that energy, amplify it.
Amplify.
Make
Because
it bigger.
the interesting thing about that statement, if you think about it, is fear, anger, frustration, any of those emotions can't live in the future
No.
because they haven't happened. They're things that have happened. So in the future, okay, sure, anything could exist, right? But it actually doesn't exist until you sort of get to it. So if you bring those past experiences and try and push them forward, which you sort of can't do really, you're just rinsing, repeating old behavior patterns that look like they're the future, but they're not the future because none of that exists in the future, right?
Yeah.
The infinite exists in the future. The void exists in the future, which is sort of like, it's that stupid conundrum where nothing and everything exists all at the same time,
Mm, mm.
right?
Yeah, I love it. I
So,
love it. So it's all
uh,
about the very next moment. What is it
next
that you
moment,
want to create? That very next little second, not the
that
next
little,
day, not tonight, the next second. Feel into the energy of that joy, that bliss, amplify it, make it
yeah,
bigger, take the
yeah.
expansiveness with us into the future and leave the past behind. Marcus,
Let's
thank
do
you
that.
so much for bringing us
Yay.
through mid today
Oh,
and
my pleasure.
very,
Thanks
very grateful
for
for
facilitating it.
the beautiful guidance and wisdom.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
beautiful. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in to Galactic Guidance. We hope that the messages that you receive from the higher realms have brought you clarity, insight, and comfort. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Remember to stay connected to your own inner guidance and trust the journey ahead.